Yeti. You're
Put it this way, I think Sami Callihan might as well just change his name to Invader 1.
I want to know why. Like, he can dodge any question. Like, I'll tell anyone that. You can tell me but I'm going to ask specific questions.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all the rest of you yahoos who are out there dilly-dillying, you little wankers, we're actually receiving real wrestling news.
This is
Rep, screw, rep.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Rep, screw, rep.
Ball 2! Arm bar!
Hey, get a nice shot of the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Hunter Hurst Helmsley.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate your hat. I hate your t-shirts. I hate your wristbands. I hate your shoes. I hate your music. I hate the C Nation. I hate everything that you stand for.
Sodas rule. Yeah, they do.
What's up, everybody? This is JP, and I am here at the Cloverleaf Studios, Quincy, Massachusetts, and coming to you from the Cloverleaf Studios in Montana. We are the most widespread, the most diverse, the longest running, probably, just not continuous. We took a little break in between. Podcast on the internet today, The Irish Whip. What's up, Josh?
What's up, man? It's been a decade since the Yeti and JP and Big Joe have started this, along with Nico every once in a while, AG, and some other people across the nation that have helped us. But yeah, we were internet wrestling radio before it was cool, and now we're back to podcasting, and everybody else is still trying to figure out who the kings of the internet are, and we are continuing to be the king of the internet.
Literally a podcast before podcasts were podcasts.
We were cool before Apple was cool.
And you guys can follow us on Twitter at 3 Irish Boys with the Z.
The number 3 Irish BOYZ on Twitter.
You got to find us on YouTube too. Just Irish Whip Podcast. We're the ones with the cool flag and the skull logo on there. June 2nd, there's going to be some exclusive footage coming onto that, and it's going to be me and either Joe or Joe's son, depending on if he's in the country, doing some interviews at the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame ceremony where Jimmy Valiant will be, Brian Fury, Nikki Rocks, almost anyone who's anyone in New England. I know the Fink is usually there, Howard Finkel. So we get some words with all of those guys while we're on there walking around. We have press credentials, so we're there. We're allowed to go in and interview whoever we want. And
exclusively. The Irish Whip is exclusive.
That's it. So funny story with that is they've been trying to get me to do this for a while, but like either weren't doing the podcast at the time or, there was just other stuff and I wasn't able to make it. This year is a big deal for me because they're inducting Nikki Rocks, Brian Fury, and Bo Douglas into the Hall of Fame, and Jimmy Valiant, all who I consider friends. So I really want to see all of them. I'm proud of all 4 of them.
Here's a cool thing, dude, is I don't want to harp on Brian Fury for the entire episode, which we could, but I'm going to compile a list of every single individual that he has helped or aided in training, and the list is humongous.
So it's a long list. Here's the thing with New England wrestlers. Back in the day, you either went to Killer Kowalski, which was like the obvious choice, or you went to Steve Bradley. Steve Bradley has since passed away, but he's trained some great guys, including Brian. And I'm trying to think of who else came out of Steve Bradley's school that you would know, but like Brian Fury, the people that that come out of his school, it's insane. So,
well, don't name the people I think of because I'm in frickin' Montana in Cloverleaf Studios West. You're in Cloverleaf Studios East. I mean, the list is it's huge, and I'm excited that we got Brian Fury coming on the show soon. We also have our friend Lance Archer, huge friend, huge guy, coming back on the show. And some other individuals that we have confirmed. I don't know if we can tell or not, but I mean, dude, we're back. Like we're back solid.
Yeah, it's crazy, and some of the times we're gonna do interviews. We might do 2 or 3 in a week, but we probably won't put the episodes out we'll probably hold them off till the next week, or until there's a week where there's no show or something like that, unless it's something that's very time, if it's something time consistent. Like the two people I'm trying to get right now as soon as we can. One, my buddy Robbie, the
Robbie
Giant.
E.
No, not Robbie E. Robbie Arujo.
Okay, all right.
It's Giant RAA on Twitter. So he's a little person. He makes money wrestling as a midget.
Oh, this is your dude that... Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to shut up. You go.
I was texting with him Thursday night, and I was like, "Hey, Robbie, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, I'm busy, real busy." I was like, "Oh, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, you'll see." And Friday, he starts posting pictures of him in Saudi Arabia.
What? And the cool thing is we don't talk about this shit before you just drop this shit on me.
Yeah, like so WWE had booked him. They didn't wind up using whatever spot they had cut, but I mean, he still went out there. He's gonna come, and he'll come on and talk about it. It's just crazy, some of the opportunities that these guys get. And Robbie's a great guy and deserves everything. He's a hard worker. He's a great wrestler and trained by Brutal Bob Evans. So
that's awesome, dude. So I'm always hesitant when I talk about New England because you guys are so tight out there and the wrestling is so huge that, I mean, we've got guys that grew up listening to our podcast that are now purchasing rights to air or start their own promotion, right?
Yeah. Caleb, he was going to license another company, and that deal didn't work out, but he just started his own New England All-Star Wrestling, which after Tommy Dreamer runs his House of Hardcore May 28th, which I'll be at in the audience as a fan, he is exclusive to that building.
Exclusive to that building.
Yeah.
And Kalen was on our show before we merged between the two shows, and he always called in, and he could do the most random Japanese accent and act like he was Japanese, booking people.
There's some, Caleb's he's a good guy. I like Caleb. I'm proud of what he's doing right now. He's run a couple of shows before, and they've been pretty successful. So he's actually in the same building. He promoted a Chaotic show where he was the South Shore promoter basically for it, and sold the house out. But
I'm about to shit my pants because I just found out that Mick Foley's going to be at Chaotic Wrestling.
yes, yeah.
God, are you
And
serious?
I probably
AG tweeted that.
I probably won't be at that show. Did you see what
Dude,
Brian...
I could you know the story behind this. Like WrestleMania 20, I believe. WrestleMania 20 that was supposed to be the last match Mick Foley ever wrestled.
Is that right?
And I'm almost that was Anaheim, California. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check. But I bought the tickets and we're gonna put the whole family down. That's my grandpa passed away, so I missed WrestleMania. But that's what I mean. Mick Foley is professional wrestling to me.
No, Mick is great. He's great. Like, I've only met him once or twice myself, and he was always a good dude. And that's been at like random shows, so he wouldn't know me from Adam, but he's always been cool to me,
He's a gracious individual and a great parent.
Funny story. I was actually mentioned in his book.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Which
in
one?
The TNA book, not by name or anything. So
Really?
yeah, it was right around WrestleMania 25 in Houston. I was outside. We were waiting for Booker T's signing to start, which he was part of, and I was doing security for. And he just comes up, and he came up to us, and he was like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And he had asked where Booker was, so we pointed to Booker's camper. Booker had a huge RV, so we just pointed over there. Said, "Oh, he's in the trailer, go ahead." And he just mentioned that moment in the book, which was kind of funny to me.
That's awesome, dude.
Like a completely random, there was no reason to mention that thing other than the fact that I was there.
So should we get on subject tonight and talk about the Irish Whip, the Women of the Whip, the top 10?
Yes, I know you have your list. I can't argue with on women because you're dead on. There's a couple of spots where maybe I might not have had Oscar at number 3, but it's no, I dead on. Charlotte.
Can we just clarify that I am not a Tessa Blanchard groupie?
Dude.
Is that a no, motherfucker?
No, you are absolutely a Tessa Blanchard group, but there's good reason to be.
Tell me she's not the hardest working person, and I'm not saying female or male. I'm just saying hardest working person besides Ricochet Ricochet, John Cena, Tessa Blanchard, Charlotte Flair. That's work for me. Like work. This is their life.
I can't argue that at all. Tessa she's a hard worker. She earns every spot she's ever got, and she's just a down to earth, nice person on top of it. So,
when your mentor's Magnum TA, give it up.
Who's not allowed in Disney World, by the way.
There's a specific reason for that, but we won't get into it. So I tweeted out, right? So I asked other people what their top 10 was. A fellow podcast, Tag Me In Bro, which they do 2 times weekly. And we love to promote podcasts because that's what we do. We're a podcast and we love to promote them. And this is their top. I'm going to go through their top 10. I'm also going to go through Kaylin's top 10 and then our top 10. And I say our because I made it and you're included into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with I agree with it.
So Tag Me In Bro goes Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, which I respect tremendously, Tessa Blanchard at number 4, Rosemary, Candice LeRae, Toni Storm, huge respect for Toni, Kairi Sane.
I'm not familiar with Toni Storm stuff. I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with her work. So,
dude, she is. I'm telling you. So you've probably seen pictures of her with one black sticker under each eye,
okay,
or one eye at the time. So once you see her, she is. God, who could I compare her to? Probably one of the greatest professional women wrestlers in the world. When it comes to straight up giving a shit about what she does.
Okay. I like
You'll
that.
check her out. And the coolest thing is Tag Me In Bro included Toni Storm on this list, which she dropped off my list this month, but she's still cool. She's still cool. Io Shirai and Carmella at number 10. So that's Tag Me In Bro. That's a fellow podcasting people giving us a shout out and also giving us their top 10, which that's a pretty solid top 10 right there.
Yeah. Do you know their Twitter?
Yeah,
Tag Me In
absolutely.
Bro's Twitter. Let's throw them out there. Let's give them all.
It is at Tag Me In Bro is their Twitter. Also at JF Tantilo, T-A-N-T. I'm gonna smash that name.
I love doing this because people don't realize, and I know we've talked about this a few times, but back in the day when it was internet radio, we didn't all fucking help each other, you know?
No, you shit on each other. You shit on each other whenever you could shit on each other.
Remember Fat Rick?
Fuck Rick.
He's passed. He's dead too.
He's dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's how old we are.
Fuck him anyway.
The people that other than us and Doc Young, that's the only other ones I can think that helped each other. So it's awesome to see the positiveness in the podcast now.
It's a growing thing, and if you don't support each other, it's a different dude. It's a decade later, and the where we're at and what we're doing is leaps and bounds beyond where we were before.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's give our folks at Villainous Heel, Kaylin Knox, which this kid eats, sleeps, and breathes professional wrestling.
One of the main contributors for WrestlingNewsSource.com.
WrestlingNewsSource.com. While all you the other little boys and girls are diddling your wankers, we're getting real wrestling news. So this is his, okay? Number one, and this is, I'm going to mark because you know how much I love this woman as well. Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax is number one.
Oh, yeah.
Number two, Alexa Bliss. Number three, and he makes sure you know, SmackDown Women's Champion, Carmella. Number four is Asuka. Number five is Charlotte Flair. Number six, Ember Moon. Number seven, he groups these two together in the Iconics. Number eight, Women of Honor champion, Sumi Sakai. He's got Tessa at number 9. Kaylin, when I see you, I'm gonna slap you. Number 10, Rosemary. So it's all relative, brother. It's all relative.
But you're right. You're not a Tessa.
There's names on here that we know, we don't know.
I'm gonna go on the site and delete the number 1. Just so Tessa Blanchard's not mentioned on the site at all on you.
And then the coolest thing for me, dude, is that the fact that there are people actually paying attention to women's wrestling these days.
Because it's women's wrestling. It's not divas. It's not, like we've talked about this. It's not brown and panties, and it's not. It's legitimate wrestling. It's not about what they're wearing. It's about what they're doing.
And I'm gonna give one shout out to somebody that we interviewed on our show almost a decade ago, and she is probably one of the hardest working individuals in the world. She didn't get credit for Combat Zone Wrestling's Best of the Best. When Tessa Blanchard showed up, the guy that was announcing that said that Tessa was the first ever woman entrant in the Best of the Best. But that first entrant ever in the Best of the Best for CZW was Lufisto.
Oh, yes. Yes, Lufisto. And she still goes, right?
Oh, dude, she's part of Team Pog.
Her and Nikki Roxx used
with
to
Jordan Grace.
She
is still going hard, and I don't know. And just like Jordan said, I don't understand, and I don't know why she hasn't had an opportunity either in Impact or WWE, because she has been doing this for a long time, and she is an ultimate competitor.
Back when the early 2000s, there were really 3 women that I knew of that were tearing stuff up, and 2 of them still do it, and one of them's a retired mom doing some powerlifting right now. And it was Lufisto, Mercedes Martinez, and Nikki Roxx. And Nikki's now, she doesn't wrestle anymore. She's married, mother with a little baby, and she does powerlifting stuff. But the 3 of them used to tour the world back when women weren't touring the world. I mean, Mexico, England, they did all of that, and they just killed each other. And they were legitimate wrestlers when women weren't legitimate wrestlers so much. So
it was a carny sideshow, brother. You and I both know that it was a carny sideshow. Women's wrestling was never taken serious. It was a Jerry Lawler tits and ass show. That's what it was. Yeah. It was 100%. And there was people that came along and tried to legitimize that, and they did legitimize that.
Yeah, and it's like I get nothing but respect for them women. And the girls on the list, like I love Carmella. Carmella has something that I don't know. It's like it's almost like she's still Enzo, you know.
If you go back, dude, if you go back and you watch when Triple H talked to Enzo and the 7-foot man that I love, when he talked to them both, he said, "Hey, boys, I'm calling you up, but I just want you to know Carmelo's not going to be part of it." There's a reason Triple H is where he's at. He is one of the smartest individuals when it comes to professional wrestling and psychology ever. And I dare to say he's better than Vince.
Without a doubt. The stuff he's doing is, well, so here's the thing, is Vince doesn't care about what the fans want. And
No, not at all. Vince cares about what Vince wants.
And Triple H does, and Triple H will go out and get the guys the fans want. Vince made millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars not caring what the fans want. Not that he doesn't care, but like there was always a way to give the fans what they want without giving them everything they want.
Holding something back.
Yeah, that's but I mean now people are willing to go to NXT and maybe make a little less money than they did in Japan, or less money than they are on the independent scene if they're that top tier, because they know they're going to get more in the long run.
And here's the thing: that this top 10 we're doing right now is it's based on what we call Bret the Hitman Hart's foundation evaluation. So that includes a professional wrestling persona, which is the look, the presence, the image, and the entrance of overall showmanship of the professional wrestler. Then you also have the ability, so the technical ability to perform the highest level, no matter the opponent, right? Just like we talked to Jordan, no matter the opponent, like, I don't care if she weighs $105, I'm going to slam that bitch into the mat.
Did you
rules or discipline? Plus, you also have to put in there professional promos. So the ability of the professional to sell themselves either as a heel or a face. So that is the criteria that we use as a foundation evaluation of the Hart Foundation or Dungeon that was established in Great Falls, Montana.
Did you see? It was actually. That's very true. But now there's no wrestling there except for this week, apparently, right?
Right. Yeah. It's Defy Wrestling. Defy is going to be in Missoula with Flip, Brian Cage, and Riddle are all going to be there, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, that happened. It happened.
So let's run through our top 10, and I'm gonna give my reasons for why after we lay out what the foundation evaluation consists of, why I put these people the way they are. Okay?
Real quick before you start, your number one, did you see the tweet that Brian Pillman sent to her today?
Brian Pillman the second. What did Brian do?
Offering to start an intergender Four Horsemen.
Oh,
right?
Oh,
think about the possibilities.
Is Santana Garrett part of that?
Is Santana Garrett your number one?
No.
I didn't. I was going to be like, what? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he would want to do like a second generation type of stable. I mean, you got... So Rachel Ellering, too. Rachel Ellering's another girl to keep an eye on right now. Paul Ellering.
She's so solid. And there's a reason I keep her off this list. And let's go. I'm just going to get this list out of the way because that's what people are waiting for right now. I said we're into this, so and there's a reason why. I mean, we talk about these other podcasts, but there's one name, unfortunately, that they all left off of there was Matsumoto. And if you're not watching Japan wrestling, you're missing Matsumoto 100% of the day, all day long. So, number one, okay, Irish Whip podcast, the Women of the Whip has Tessa Blanchard. Are you in agreement of that or not?
Absolutely. I think Tessa is unbelievable. So,
you say Tessa and I say Tessa.
I think she's incredible.
She is the hardest working, most humble, lovable. She meets every criteria that is set forth by the foundation evaluation.
I have no idea why she's not in NXT right now. At least NXT.
I think she's making more money outside of the WWE right now than she is anywhere else. I think she's making more money. I think she has more freedom. I think she gets to do what she wants to do when she wants to do it.
This is true, and it's a weekends only. For the most part,
I mean that's it. I mean, and that's why I went through this. So number one, I'm just going to run through our top 10 real quick. We got Tessa Blanchard at number one. I mean, if you don't know who Tessa Blanchard is, if you're not keen to who she is, you're not keen to what she does, then I absolutely encourage you guys to get on YouTube, get on Wrestle Circus, get on CZW, get on every independent show's website, and I guarantee you she will be there. When you have one woman and a bunch of other guys competing in Combat Zone Wrestling's best of the best, thank you, DJ Hyde, for continuing this. That's it. That is when I look at that, it is the best of the best. And Cedric Alexander is coming back to CZW to wrestle again. So if you need credibility for why, or if I mention CZW and think it's all blood, No, Cedric Alexander, Tessa Blanchard. Mix those two together, right?
Yeah, it's kind of, the companies that have that blood get the bad reputation for being only the blood, and they're not. And CZW is a great company.
There's a reason Jeff Cannonball does what he does. There's a reason Tessa Blanchard does what he does. There's a reason all these guys do what they do. Joey Janela. There's a reason they do what they do. There's a reason, number 2, Charlotte Flair. Love her. Love her to death. However, she's not Tessa Blanchard.
Is that why she's not number 1?
Yes.
Okay, I can't argue that.
Number 3 is Asuka, and I love. You could put any 1, 2, and 3 at 1, 2, and 3. You could. You really could. Yeah. I mean, if it was this is an opinion-based thing. It's an opinion editorial, whatever you want to call it. I put Tessa at number 1, younger, faster, stronger, more agile, and Ricochet.
That sounded like a car commercial. Younger, faster, stronger.
Asuka is number 3. Okay, Rosemary's number 4. So you could start any promotion anywhere, any point in time. These 4 girls could be. I'm sorry, I said girls. These 4 women could be the face of any company, right?
Absolutely.
5 is Ember Moon. 6 is Nia Jax. 7, Kairi Sane. That elbow from the top is insane, dude. That is. Matsumoto. If you don't know who the Lady Destroyer is, she continues to destroy the competition worldwide. So check her out. Kaylin. Number 9, Alexa Bliss. Although her title reign was taken by Nia, she still remains one of the greatest champions we've seen. She's a freaking 5-foot ninja. She's just amazing. And number 10, Chelsea Green. She's tall. She doesn't have the muscular aptitude that most people do, but she's still the hot mess, dude, and she's amazing.
I'm not familiar.
Hey, hashtag Amber O'Neil, get familiar.
Get familiar. That's it.
And that's the thing. You're always going to know that the Yeti, me, I'm always on the women's side. I will always be on the women's side. And between Natty Neidhart being on the show, between Lufisto showing up on the show, this is years and years and years knowing that if a company wants to be successful, they need to add women's professional wrestling to their roster and not women's carny wrestling.
Right. It doesn't have to be the popcorn match anymore.
No, and that's just this is our list. This is just this is my opinion. This is the Yeti's opinion. JP gets swooped into this because this is where I live. This is where I survive. This is what I do. They are more agile, car commercial, more competitive, and they are all out all the time. And I mean that in Impact. I mean that in the WWE. I mean that in New Japan. I mean that in every independent show. These women that are coming up are trying to show who they are and what they do.
I can remember when people thought Nikki Roxx was nuts because TNA wanted to do a women's hair match with Gail Kim, and they didn't care who it was with. It was Gail Kim, and they went in the back to the girls and said, "Hey, who's willing to get their hair cut?" Nikki's hand went up instantly, from what I understand. And
she's a team player. She don't give a shit. She's going to do whatever's right for herself and the company.
She got a contract out of that, though. So,
and here's the other thing. I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to say this is Rise DTWA. Rise is on the rise, and they are actually putting on a show. I'll have to check Twitter. I haven't looked for a while, but they're actually looking, and they're trying to do a weeklies. Jesus, cut that out. A weekly women's show, and they're going to have a bunch of people at this tryout, and that's where actually Chelsea Green got her contract, is doing a tryout like this, which Rise is doing, and they're in partnership with Impact to try and find the next generation.
That's definitely something to check out. The weekly shows is you got to keep the fans entertained, and doing like a monthly or whatever, the way a lot of independents do it, people forget the storylines. So if you can do something weekly, then more power to you. Even if it's just, if it's taped once a month and then YouTube weekly.
But they're on Twitch, dude. They're on Twitch.
Sorry.
If you subscribe, if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, I can't tell you how cool independent wrestling is right now through Twitch. House of Hardcore.
Yep.
Wrestle Circus, even though they're looking for a venue right now, which is, if you ask me, is horseshit. Anyway, Rise, any promotion right now is trying to find those people, and every single one of them are booking people that are number one on the list.
That's so. What number was she?
Which one?
The last one we just did. Was it Chelsea Green?
Chelsea Green's number 10.
No, okay.
You know who her bro man is, right?
Her bro
No.
man? No.
Her bro man. I'm gonna do this, and then you tell me, okay?
Okay.
Woo woo woo.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dude,
Yeah.
So pro wrestling's very incestual.
Absolutely, man. I'm part of this 30-day Facebook Live challenge, and today was talking about what our hobbies are. And my problem is this a hobby or is this a obsession, dude?
It's a little bit of both. But I refuse to say I'm obsessed with wrestling. Screw that site.
That guy's not anymore.
No.
Let's switch gears. And let's let you do a little bit of talking here,
Yes.
and let's talk about what you got going on.
So, I got an appearance. May 14th, I will be on a TV show. People are going to have to look at my face for an hour.
Do they know how big that base is?
Yes, it's me and it's Pat Dillon from UFO Wrestling. We're going to go and do the Ring and All Other Sports, which is a cable access show. It's up in New Hampshire, but he goes live on YouTube every week, so we'll make sure we share the link when I'm out there. And it's just going to be him interviewing me about this and wrestling and me being a fan. It's pretty cool.
And that's the thing, is we are fans. I'm not going to hesitate and tell you that I'm not a fan. I am a 100% validated, branded Cena mark.
Now, I want to talk about Sami Callihan, too.
I know that's kind of where I was leaning with this, but I wanted to leave that door open and leave it open on a consistent basis until you decided to enter.
I got over the stuff with him and Eddie Edwards, which I was obviously very upset about. I'm friends with Eddie. Eddie was seriously injured during a stupid spot. Sammy's a good wrestler. He's a very good wrestler, obviously. He's been a lot of places that he wouldn't be if he wasn't great. You know what I mean? But he's not reckless. Like he's telling you he is. Like he's trying to market himself as reckless. He's not. He's doing reckless things, and there is a difference. The Eddie Edwards thing, that's in the past. Won't get into that, but about a week ago, he did a show with Kevin Sullivan, who is a 70-something-year-old man. Okay? That Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan. And during it, he threw a chair. The chair hits Kevin square in the head, and Kevin looks like a freaking unicorn now. There's literally a knot in the top of his head that was split open, and he was bleeding. Whatever. Kevin dealt with it. They did their match. From what I've heard on a Kevin Sullivan shoot on YouTube, that in the back, the OVE guys had a little confrontation with the Tokyo Monster Kahagas, who I know Kahagas, I know him decently, and I know how he is, and he's protective of his friends, and he's a legit tough guy. Apparently there was some confrontation between him and the OVE guys after the Kevin Sullivan thing, and the cops were called at some point. Now, here's the thing. This is where there's a little controversy on this, and I don't know if it's work, shoot, or what. I've reached out to Kahagas. Hopefully he'll come on and do this. the promotion's denying the cops were called. But Kevin Sullivan is saying that they were. So, dude, Sami Callihan, don't be stupid. Don't do stupid stuff. Your number one job in pro wrestling is to protect your opponent, to keep them safe, to not do stupid, reckless things. If you're going to swing a bat at a chair in their stomach, make sure you can stop the bat if it misses the chair. If you're throwing a chair, make sure you're not throwing it directly at someone's head, please. I'm looking forward to May 28th because I know Eddie's getting some receipts on him. And that's the House of Hardcore show. I'm not getting paid to plug this. I'm just excited for the show. I haven't gone to a lot of indie shows recently, so I will be there for that. But God forbid something stupid happens during that. God forbid something goes wrong, something reckless goes wrong. I just don't, man. Don't, please. For the love of God, for the sake of the business, for the sake of your bookings, because you're going to eventually lose them. I know right now you're saying you're busier than you ever were, your bankroll's bigger than it was. It's because you're in the news, dude. You fall off, and that's going to go away. And if you keep injuring people, that's going to go away. People aren't going to work with you, period. But right now, you're money, so keep going with the heat you're getting online and stuff. Just stop hurting people.
And that's just it, man. It's we have continue to talk to, and continue to foster a relationship with people that have been where he's at now, and then have gone to the bottom. Just Incredible's one of them.
Yeah, and absolutely. And you don't want to see anyone wind up in that level, you know?
No, and here's the thing: you don't want to have to reinvent yourself like Justin's trying to do, and he is, and it's a different subject matter, different approach, different everything. But what you're saying right now, dude, is 100% the truth. It is not what. Yeah, your bankroll's bigger. Good for you, brother. Good job. You're in Impact Wrestling. Okay, one of the biggest independent wrestling promotions in the United States. You're not in New Japan. You're not in WWE. Those are the two biggest ones in the world. Yep. They won't touch you if you don't take care of the people that you are with in the ring. Zero. None. Absolute. Never happen.
That's who I forget who I was listening to, and they were talking about the Eddie thing, and they were saying that back in the day, it was a WCW person. Oh, it might have been Kevin Sullivan, actually. Saying that back in the day, that would have been a fine. And he probably would have got his ass kicked backstage.
He would have got more than an ass kicked backstage. He got stuck.
It's different. Pro wrestling is so different.
Tell me Sabu would put up with that shit. Tell me Rob Van Dam would put up with that shit. Tell me Tommy Dreamer would put up with that shit.
That's the thing, is Cahagas came up with... Not literally came up with those guys, but in the same time as those guys. So that's his mentality. And if you look, Cahagas was a... for those who don't know who he is, he was a... I believe it was right after Adam Cole. He was the NWA World Heavyweight Champ. And he...
Baby.
Yeah. So if you... There's a wrestling... Wrestling Flea Market, World Famous Flea Market Wrestling, something like that on YouTube. What the fuck are you doing?
Snapchatting.
Oh, so, and there's a match at Cahagas, and he's wrestling some kid who shouldn't have been in the ring, and Cahagas just beat the hell out of him. If you don't seem like you know the business, they're going to pretend you don't know the business, and that's how he is. For those who are wondering why I just said, what the hell are you doing? Like, Josh has got his camera on, and he's just making faces into his phone, taking selfies like a 14-year-old girl.
I'm talking to my daughter right now.
Oh,
Leave me alone.
All right.
Hey, which way I'm super proud of. Washington State University completed her first year, going into speech pathology, which is helping not only kids in need, but herself. So that's something she's wanted to do since she's 10 years old. So I love her.
That is awesome. Tell her I said congratulations.
I will.
That is a good thing. Now, I don't even know what else is going on. Oh. So, me and you, I'm going to have a debate right now, and you don't even know about
Oh,
this.
fuck.
I say the best thing to happen this week was one thing, and you say the best thing to happen was another thing.
Oh God! What are you saying that I'm saying the best thing to happen this week is?
I'm talking about the greatest thing to happen at the greatest Royal Rumble.
The greatest Royal Rumble.
And I think so.
We can't avoid this. We just cannot avoid this. We just can't avoid it, man. We're part of a group on Facebook, and I posted a certain video on there. How many people are going to be talking about this instead of that?
Yeah. I want to say, thank God Titus O'Neil could have been very seriously injured when he tripped and fell. For those who don't know, there is a metal beam that goes to the ground, and if you watch, you can actually see that beam. And it was inches from like his shoulder. If that had hit
inches, dude, like literally inches.
If that had hit his shoulder, it could have been bad. If it could have hit his head, it could have been a lot worse. So thank God he was all right. But man, was that hysterical? The poor guy.
Dude,
have you seen the T-shirt yet?
We talk about I haven't watched the complete Royal Rumble. Like I watched the ladder match. I watched Cena and Triple H do their dance. I watched the crowd. I watched the crowd more than I watched anything else, which was odd for me because Saudi Arabia and what they're doing and embracing is different. But I watched the crowd more than I watched the greatest Royal Rumble. Like I haven't even watched the entire Rumble yet, dude. That's how I am more into independent wrestling than I am the E. But I will get to it.
Yeah. The Iron Sheik tweeted, "Why is everyone there dressed like me?"
I love the Sheik, dude. I miss the Sheik and Volkov. I miss him.
But yeah, the crowd was awesome. The crowd was so hot, and the front row wasn't even paying attention.
No, they didn't give a shit, dude. The front row didn't give a shit. Well, you saw how they had the seat set up. Like it was legitimately, hey, you 50 people are going to sit down here. The other one of you douchebags is going to be up on the top.
Now, I say the Titus O'Neil tripping, and they actually made a T-shirt for him on WWE Shop.
Good.
And it says like it's in the greatest Royal Rumble font, and it said I think like trick. I forget what it was. It was like trip, stumble, and fumble or something.
I can't tell you how. I mean, listen, the E's traveling schedule is brutal. Yep. I mean, it is brutal, and to be in the Middle East is also tough. There was a lot of mistakes that were made during the Greatest Royal Rumble, but it was also an amazing feat for them.
Yep.
Now, do you want to talk about the video that I posted?
Yeah, I know what you think, because that was bad too.
Most fans, individuals wouldn't have noticed this. But when my wife, which has absolutely nothing to do with professional wrestling, she thinks this is the stupidest thing in the world, she hates wrestling. She saw that and she's like, how did that guy fall? He didn't even touch him.
Yeah, that was bad.
So when we see the whisper in the wind, right? We see the whisper in the wind where Jeff Hardy puts the spot down. Jinder Mahal is debatably extremely out of position, and Michael Cole can't explain it. Neither can anybody else. And Jinder Mahal falls on his back without even being touched.
And I think the event as a whole, like I didn't watch the whole thing. That's a long event. I kind of watched some matches.
5 hours, dude. 5 hours. It was WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but I mean, Braun Strowman winning. The crowd chanting for the right. The crowd's cheering for the right people.
Yeah, I mean, they're
hot were they for Cena?
That's the thing about professional wrestling. It is world freaking wide, and that's what the E will always bring. I don't care if you hate it. People are asking for They want to bring back WCW. They want Thunder. They want. Do you want Saturday morning cartoons too?
So here's the thing, and this is a good thing. Though Saudi Arabians don't get live wrestling a lot. Obviously, this was, I think, one of the first shows.
Zero, dude, in the last 2 years.
They were so hot for the baby faces, for the Cenas, for the Roman Reigns, the people that we don't appreciate here because we get to go to wrestling a little more consistently than they do.
Let's clarify, not we.
But they have less access to wrestling, but they have access to WWE to watch it. And so for the people on the internet that cry about why isn't Cena a heel or why are they keeping Roman Reigns a babyface, the people that it's like a silent majority.
Us spoiled assholes in the States are the reason that wrestling sucks.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Basically what I'm trying to say in a non-Nikolai Volkov type of way. Yeah, kind of, because we're so spoiled in, like I said, the Vince has that was Vince's way of not giving everything, and it's the right way of doing it, I think, actually, on a lot of it. You can't always...
That's the difference, dude, is that Vince wants to give you everything. Triple H wants to hold something back.
Yeah, and the only reason they haven't turned Cena heel is because, one, he sells way too many T-shirts.
Here's why Cena hasn't turned heel, dude. He's the single most recognized individual when it comes to Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yeah. Over 500 Make-A-Wishes, man. That's why he will never turn heel.
Isn't that insane?
Dude, he will be the face for the face of the face. He will never, ever, ever turn heel. And he said it. And if he does, that will be and I'm telling you, it will be the single greatest moment in WWE history.
But the event itself, and then they go to Canada the next day, and I was laughing because you had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn getting cheered, and who were they in the ring with? They were in the ring with, I forget who it was, but it was two baby faces that were getting booed. But Sami Zayn was supposed to get cheered. That was his hometown.
Yes.
I get it. It was just an ironic situation.
He is also Syrian.
Yes.
Which is a big reason why he was not over there.
That's the reason. I mean, be real. The same reason that Saudi Arabia apologizing for showing the girls during the commercials. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's horseshit.
Like, dude, it's 2017. You can be born.
Dude, Saudi Arabia just finally let people start. I'm sorry. Saudi Arabia just finally let women start to drive vehicles. They couldn't drive cars, dude.
It's nuts.
It's just not who we are, and I'm just excited for this next generation to come up and change that. I'm excited for these women that we put on our top 10 to change that.
Yes, and I don't know. Like, are you gonna? Do you take a chance of doing a show in Saudi Arabia and putting a woman on the show and having nobody show up because of it?
No, I think you take a chance like they've done before. They've done on the USO tours and stuff where Alexa and Sasha they're entirely clothed from the neck down. I think you take that chance. I think you do it. I think the Prince of Saudi Arabia, I think the entire world is shifting in a way that we don't understand. And that's a cool thing. It really is a cool thing. And I think that the WWE, as much as I shit on them last week, is a huge part of that. I think Vince McMahon taking a chance on buying all the talent in the NWA, AWA, CWF, all of that, and putting it all together and have the vision. He had the vision to change the world, and it sounds corny and stupid in a professional wrestling way, but at the same time, he knew what he was doing, and he knows that art form, athleticism, and telling a story can change people's perception.
There's very few greater businessmen than Vince McMahon.
I can't deny it. And the fact Stephanie is stepping into that role. Shane's not. Stephanie and along with Steph and Triple H, Hunter understands it. I mean, you and I talked about this. NXT is Hunter's baby. That is Hunter. NXT is the best, 100%. It really is. Absolutely. And when he understands it. I mean, the fact that we got to see the Click come together at a Hall of Fame ceremony. We, as fans and people that listen to these podcasts and what we do, we understand that, we see that, and we know that there are bigger things at work than our leaders. And the fact that, dude, Saudi Arabia had professional wrestling in the king's own backyard. That's huge. I'm not gonna shit on it. I'm just not, because it's life-changing. And people that think I'm stupid by saying, hey, professional wrestling's stupid, it's fake. Yeah, I know it's fake. I understand that. But it relays and it can tell a story the way nothing else can. I mean, when those 4 dudes that went through the Prince Albert's, when they went through that, I don't know if you watched it or not, but those 4 guys stood out there and the Daivaris came out. Yep. That was my favorite part. That was so that I've watched. I haven't watched the Greatest Royal Rumble yet, but that was my favorite part to watch. An Iranian flag, Saudis booing that. Like, that is, it would be just the opposite on Iran if things were reversed, if things would change, if the Arab uprising, everything that's happening over there now is because that there's a shift. There's a huge shift in accepting women. There's a huge shift in accepting who we are and what we are and what we do.
There has to be. I mean, you look at it now, even here in the U.S., like, we're very accepting at this point. You got people that were born male that are saying they're female, and, people, you call them a female, you call them a woman, you call, born a female, and I get a guy I work with was born a female, identifies as a male, like, and he's a good dude. It's whatever, Yeah,
and that's how we've always, you and I and us as an internet wrestling show or podcast have always accepted whoever, whenever, wherever. I mean, the fact that Canyon came out on the Irish Whip before any place else was amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, we had Kevin Bernhardt. He used to he did a drag queen thing for Booker T as Kevin Kelly. As Kelly Kevin, not as Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly's not a drag queen, but as Kelly Kevin.
I love that anyway.
And we had him on. I still talk to Kevin. Kevin's not really a drag queen. He's a good dude, but it's just whatever, and that's how wrestling has been. Yeah, you weren't going to be a baby face as a gay guy typically, but they were gonna do something like that with Finn Balor, who is also not gay. Just accepted, and that's his T-shirts is all because he's the rainbow T-shirt. Finn Balor is not gay. He's not a gay character. He's not a gay person. Just accepting of everything.
Also, first interview ever on U.S. soil, Irish Whip Finn Balor.
Yes, by accident.
And that's a cool thing. I mean, even during WrestleMania when he wore the rainbow attire, that's cool, man. Yeah. That is cool. I don't care what you say. Homophobic, you be homophobic, okay? You be that, but don't be a professional wrestling fan if you are homophobic, or if you're against the LGBTQ, AB through Z community. Then don't be that.
So if you're against either one of those things, I challenge you to go out and talk to someone that's a member of that community. And I don't mean like the bitter gay dude, just that the stereotypical gay guy does exist, but it's not typical.
It's not.
I'm not saying you have to go out and hook up with one of them. Go out and meet one of them and have a conversation with them, and you'll see they're just a normal person.
Some of the funnest times, dude, in my entire life is Marcy's friends that are 100% gayer than gay. And we go out to eat dinner with them, and I love them to death because they accept who they are, they accept where they are, and they accept. They don't care. They don't give a shit what people think about them. They're just who they are, and that's what I think that's the best job the WWE does, is projecting people as who they are.
I have a story for another time about Sosei the Elemental Wizard, who was now he's a party DJ, but he was a gay rapper that used to come on the Irish Whip because he was a wrestling fan. And he was from New York, but he was doing a show in Boston, so invites me and Joe. Neglected to tell us it was a gay club. Neglected to tell us that he was the only rap act, and the rest of the acts were random stuff ranging from BDSM to stand-up comedy acts. It was just the most bizarre night of my life. Absolutely. But it was fun. And most of the performers came up to me and Joe after when they realized we were with Sose. Well, like, man, we were all talking, trying to figure out why you two straight dudes were here. Like, it was. I'll tell some of the stories from that night, and again, Sose is another one I still talk to. He's married to a man that got a couple of kids and doing well for himself. So, but
that's the key. That's the key.
We're just about to hit an hour.
I think we got it, brother.
All right, man. Yeah, I don't even think I'm going to edit this shit.
You shouldn't. We just keep it as it is, dude.
Yeah,
I'll send you that. I'll send you that mix. I'm actually opening it right now. I'll cut that down and send you as an MP3.
Is it the corrosion of conformity one, or is it the?
No. It's the straight up fucking nothing. It's just
nice.
Yeah, it's fuck.
I was talking to my district manager today too, because I like to talk to him because it scares the fucking.
Thank you all for tuning into the Irish Whip. We will see you next Tuesday.